Hello, Mass Effect enthusiasts. In light of the Mass Effect 3 release, I present Loki Shepard. Loki was a character I decided to make for my first run-through on the hardest difficulty of Mass Effect 2. Not only that, but I opted against researching any texts or leveling any abilities on Shepard or his crew. In the spirit of low-level runs, this character would test my skill and patience. Now, before I even started the run, I wanted more than just a hollow claim. I wanted proof that I had done it. This is where the medals came in. Being in my first run on the hardest difficulty, I still yet to earn the Insanity Badge. Also, I wanted to show that I did in fact have 0 stats allocated to my character immediately after completing the mission's climax. It was very important that I pick my starting abilities seriously. I opted for the Soldier class for its Disruptor ammo and Adrenaline Rush. The former lent extra damage against shields, the latter slowing time down and granting a short but profound damage boost. I was also allowed a bonus squad ability. I chose Morinth's Dominate ability, which was helpful for crowd control. As far as teammates go, Miranda and Mordin seemed natural choices. Mordin's Incinerate ability was instantly damaging to armor and health. Miranda started off with both Overload and Warp, which allowed her to deal with shields and barriers respectively. While I used other team members, they seemed to be the best choices for most situations. Now, on to the playthrough itself. Given Loki's perpetually fragile state, cover became a necessity more than ever. I spent so much time waiting for shields to recharge that I invented the Scared Shepard Shuffle to keep myself occupied. As I'm sure you've noticed, sniping became the preferred method of combat, and while I missed an embarrassingly large number of shots in the beginning, I eventually got into the swing of things. But enough of that. Time to put the claim to the test. First up is Garm from the Blood Pack. Damn near killed me, but a random no-scope managed to save my life. As you can see, no points spent here. Here we have the gunship battle on Ilium during the mission where Miranda has to save her sister. Not the end of the mission per se, but the quick succession of Mordin's Incinerate, Miranda's Warp, and my final pistol shot made for a cool takedown. Jador, as well as her Ymir mech, are still alive in this part. Being how messy dealing with Ymir mechs tended to be in this run-through, I opted to sidestep it altogether for the sake of the final kill shot on Jador. It was a very satisfying payoff, especially dodging that missile at the very end. However, it took me a little while to get around to checking the menu. Praetorians are usually a bag of peaches to begin with, so imagine the fun I must have had here with this one on Horizon. To be honest though, I had more difficulty dealing with the 3 waves of lesser enemies that came directly before this. Next up is the Loyalty mission for Legion. What surprised me was how unexpectedly aggravating this part became. Mostly had to do with the fact that up until this point I had to take combat slow, but here you were forced to break through all barriers whether you were ready or not. The boarding of the Collector base probably was the hardest part of the game for me. Never mind the Praetorian, the very first part of the mission where the trap is sprung killed me more than any other part in the game. But enough of that. Now for the culmination of all of Loki's efforts. Upon the assault on the Collector base to the Omega-4 relay, you might expect some things to go wrong for someone who didn't bother to research any tech. Mainly, Jack dies, Legion dies, Thane dies. And though we may weep for fallen comrades, there's still a job to do. Mainly, someone needs to shoot a gigantic Terminator in the eye with a sniper rifle. Might as well be Loki. And so, crisis averted, humanity saved. Loki gets to bask in his accomplishment. Level 29. No skills even remotely perfected. Only 3 crew lost, no tech researched, and the rest of the Normandy saved from the Collectors. Some crew more grateful than others.